welcome everybody to episode number 25 of the Final Circle podcast. I almost forgot the name of our podcast for a second.
I almost
And
forgot what number we were on.
yeah, we finally hit 25. So thank you guys. I say this a lot, so I'm sorry if you guys are tired of hearing it, but thank you for the continued support. This is an awesome one. We're a quarter of the way to 100. And honestly, I'm very proud that we've continued the podcast. It's so easy to start one of these things and then just to stop it. And we're doing a good job. So thank you, Andrew, for continuing to do the podcast with me. I appreciate it. And here's to episode number 25. And this is actually pretty exciting because things have been a little slow for PUBG on console. We had the PTS like last week or 2 weeks ago, but now we have the new update on live servers, which is technically patch number 7 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. We got Call of Duty Modern Warfare trailer launched today.
Yeah.
We got some news about some new AMD chips coming in. If you've been listening to the podcast, we've been talking about some PC builds because I'm thinking about building one, and Andrew built one earlier this year. So we got some great stuff to talk about in this episode. Anything else you want to mention? Mexico tariffs, Trump. I'm just kidding. I don't think we're going to talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah, getting wild down here.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, yeah, I guess we could also talk briefly about like Optic Gaming being sold to the Immortals or Infinite Gaming more specifically.
What was up with that? Our buddy Tom, he was on the podcast earlier episode, definitely recommend checking that out with BZ Tommy. He's like supposed to be our esports correspondent. We have to have him come back on the podcast, but he's in the Navy and he's currently on a ship. But he is like obsessed with esports, especially in the Call of Duty, Halo, like League of Legends scene, and he even followed a little bit of PUBG. So what's up with this? Like he loves Optic, right? And they're one of the oldest, like largest ones, I feel like.
Yeah, they are one of the oldest ones, I think. So from what happened, they were not bought out completely, but they were bought out somewhat by Infinite, and I'm sure Tom will clarify when we have him on.
Okay.
Or I could probably clarify more, but if I read a little bit more, but
I'm gonna read
listening to his podcast and everything. Eavesdrop, he went over today. They like partnered with Infinite, which like kind of combined a bunch
Infinite
of
or Immortals. Is it Immortals?
It was Infinite is who had like 51% ownership of Optic.
Okay.
And basically, what happened was
they bought a bunch of teams. Okay, I see.
They had a bunch of teams. They got the LCS for League. And basically there was a lot of like trouble. It wasn't, it seemed like the guys that ran Infinite, from, the Eavesdrop's point of view, Hex, they weren't really running it right. And
it says Infinite Esports reportedly owes $20 million to prior to Immortals for sale. This one post article.
They did. So basically Immortals needed to pay $20 million by May 31st, or the bank would have owned the rights to the LCS. So a bank would have owned their League of Legends spot.
Oh my God, weird.
That's crazy. So basically, I think the company was just very mismanaged. They didn't do a good job of, remember like they dropped the PUBG team randomly, and they dropped the Halo team randomly. They wanted to drop Call of Duty apparently. Just like things that don't make sense, like in the gaming industry, like you'd want to keep your teams
in these like big things to keep the name out there.
Yeah, like you don't have like how much in reality are you paying in salary and traveling fees for these guys to go, 4 or 5 guys to go play video games.
Yeah.
That's not like, PUBG's not a huge game yet, or it is, but it's, I can't imagine it costing him.
Yeah, the esports
millions of
scene, I don't
dollars
think it's on the same scale. I mean, it's growing. It seems like it's been doing pretty well recently, but I know you're saying. Yeah.
Whatever it is, and Call of Duty is a big game and still a big,
of course,
esport, and they're franchising now, so potentially even bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they were considering getting rid of that team. I think they were just running out of money and they didn't know what to do, so they were just cutting their expenses.
Yeah.
And basically Hex was just like against it, and they stopped talking. So there's obviously issues. And then basically what happened is that they probably were going to default on this loan.
Wow.
And Immortals wants their League of Legends spot. So Immortals paid a ton of money. And I think
because the League of Legends spot it's like coveted because it costs so much money to get in, and like
it was like $25-30 million.
Yeah.
And there's only so many. So these spots are selling for like way more than they're worth now.
Wow.
So Immortals wanted that, but there's, apparently Hex tried to buy it,
And for anybody that
but they
isn't
couldn't do
aware,
it.
Hex is like a long-standing, like, I guess, like mascot or business partner of Optic Gaming.
Yeah,
Optic
he pretty
Hex.
much is one of the
Like
founders.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so he tried to put in a bid, but it just was not nearly enough. He tried to save it, and
Wow. Yeah, I would
um,
read a little bit more about it, but I went on this site and it looked like a couple ads were about to start playing, and I didn't want them to come
yeah,
in on the podcast. But
yeah. I
yeah,
just think it's the underlying issue is that for Optic, like basically all Immortals wants is the LCS spot. They have like no ties. They don't really care about Call of Duty.
weird,
Also like
interesting.
they already have an Overwatch league, so they can't own two Overwatch leagues, so they would have to sell that.
Wow. So they're
Like a
really
whole
just trying
bunch
to
of
get
issues.
it. So I mean, I'm sure there's other stuff, but it sounds like they're just trying to sneak in for that league spot, which is kind of crazy.
Exactly. So no one knows, like, are they going to just dismantle and sell off? Will they let Hex buy the Optic teams back, like the Call of Duty team and X, Y, and Z, or are they just going to slowly sell each team off? Dismantle the Call of Duty
Yeah,
team
I'm surprised
player
because
by
there's so
player.
much money involved. I'm surprised they'd even want to be bought out like Optic because I feel like, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe some stuff has just been mismanaged across the board for some of these organizations. But I always hear like there's a lot of investment coming from celebrities and even investment firms like coming into these companies. You feel like if they brought their case to somebody, like there's so much money involved in it. But I feel like we're still in the early form of all this esports. So,
Yeah, I
there's
mean, I
probably
think
going to
they
be
just
some F ups
they
here.
they definitely just dug a hole, and I think that no one wanted to bail them out.
Yeah.
That they weren't able to bail out. I'm sure that like some things were fine, but other aspects they probably just were not fine.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. For people listening, I don't really follow that stuff that much. I
No,
really
I don't
haven't. So
usually
I
either.
need to. You've been listening to that guy's podcast still, Hex?
I think it's good. It's cool.
Yeah.
Good to hear from like different professional players.
Yeah, I
I
probably
just
should be
think it's
listening
sad.
to it. Yeah, I probably should check
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. I just think it's sad because like there's a whole bunch of guys that have these are their jobs, and
Yeah.
pretty much they're gonna lose their jobs or get sold off. And the way that company Optic's been run, as much as I'm not really into this, like he ran it well, and it's been that way for a long time. So it seems like those guys are gonna kind of get shafted for just over a League of Legends spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's weird.
kind of sad.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, especially
Yeah.
because gaming is like it's almost worse than like professional sports in terms of like the amount of time you put in for like potential I don't know if you want to say earnings or potential like professional spot. Like in the NFL, they say like what, like 1% of people who play football like make it into the NFL, or some crazy statistic, the 1%
Yeah.
of the 1%, right? But like in video games, like anyone can play a video game. You can be like, you have to be tall to be a basketball player, right? Like, I mean, you don't have to be, but you know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like anybody can play a video game. And again, I say this all the time. It's one of the biggest issues with video games is that like you can't swim for 10 hours straight. You could play video
Mm-hmm.
games for 10 hours straight because like you mentally would maybe have a headache, but like you physically are just sitting there. And so like these people, man, these kids, like they play for 10 hours a day, to try to be the best League of Legends player. And then like, I
Yeah.
don't know, that shit is just crazy to me. It's wild. And
Yeah.
then
They do it every day too.
yeah, every day. And I can't even imagine, man, because those times when I stream on Monday, I did like an 8-9 hour stream in two parts. I streamed in the morning, I took a break, and then I streamed in the afternoon. And like that's so much gaming. It's like a lot of screen time. It's crazy without a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
So it's like
It
pretty
is. It's hard on your
intense.
eyes.
Yeah, it's my eyes have been super dry lately. I ran out of eye drops, so I gotta
It's probably
invest in some more.
pollen.
That too,
A lot
but
of
just a
pollen
lot
in
of. I've been. It's just like this week has been. I know you said you've been really busy. I've been like super crunch time because of the PUBG stuff, the new live update, and just a bunch of videos going and extra streaming. So I've been literally from the moment I wake up to the moment I went to bed. I was up until like midnight just editing videos and like getting ready because there's so much shit going on and it's kind of exciting. There's a lot of fun stuff going on
Yeah.
right now.
No, there definitely seems like there's a lot going on. And I mean, like we can like keep moving on.
Yeah,
We're in like a good time for video games, so it's just kind of like a sad occurrence that like this is how this like the rocky hill, you know what I mean, like the foundation of something big is built, like all these
totally. Yeah, so
things are
right,
kind
man.
of
we're still in the early. I mean, even though it seems like video games have blown up, we're still in the early days of like esports. And
Yeah.
even, you know what, my head is so in video games, like, and how big video games are and everything. But even like our buddy Bill, me and
Yeah.
Andrew have a mutual friend. Like, he'll text me sometimes. He'll be like, "Dude, wow, like this Fortnite company is doing a deal with Nike. I can't believe that." And like, he doesn't play video games. He doesn't understand like Fortnite and
Yeah.
stuff. And he sends me a thing like Nike's partnering with them. Like, how big of a deal is that? And I like looked at that. I'm like, yeah, like that's totally not
That's
even that big of a
insane.
deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's insane. But like at the same time, like video games are so mainstream already, kind of, that like
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. And the industry is so big, it like, I mean, the video game releases rival or even surpass movie launches now. Like video games to me are already big, and like it's only, and they're not even completely in the mainstream yet, so it's only going to get bigger and bigger and more like, I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
could
agree.
like, because there's some esports that are on TV. Like we were at a bar one time, and there was Rocket League on ESPN or something, and I've
Yeah.
seen League of Legends on TV before. But it's a rare occurrence, and that's only going to grow, and people will probably make fun of it and stuff, but it's only going to grow
Yeah.
bigger and bigger.
No, definitely. I think that it's from when we were younger. Like, if we were 20 now, it would be such a different world for us.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Even if we were like 15, it's just so
Yeah.
different now.
So
I
different.
remember, I mean, when me and Andrew were growing up, that was like when MLG first started, and it was being talked about. And MLG, like, it does exist still, but like, it was a totally different thing. And
Yeah, remember they'd
competitive
have like
gaming.
Halo tournaments on like USA, like the channel USA every now and then.
Yeah, and then there was even everything like the MTV show True Life. They'd be like, "True Life, I'm a professional gamer." Like, it's like the weirdest thing, like that some people were.
Yeah, people are playing
legitimately,
like Super Smash Brothers.
yeah,
or
exactly, and like Unreal and whatever games,
Yeah.
fighting games, Super Smash.
Not random games, yeah.
Not random games, yeah, but back
There's a
then.
Halo guy.
Yeah, the Halo guy. That was what was that guy's name? T Squared. That guy was super famous back then on Halo. A lot
Yeah.
of good Halo players.
That's the thing, like that's Hex mentions like people like that. That's like the nice thing. It kind of like brings up these guys that you're like, oh my god, I remember these dudes when I was younger and they were playing. You're like, wow, like they
Yeah.
make money doing this.
Totally.
You know,
Yeah, that was always my dream. I was just like, dude, just want to be the best
Just
Halo player.
yeah,
Crazy.
and just sometimes different times, man.
Yep, different times. If I didn't get bad vision, I'd be there. No, I'm just kidding. I was always a little bit underneath those guys, unfortunately, which stinks. But I played against a lot of those good Halo players back in the day, and like pros.
Yeah,
Me and Tom.
you did like some of those tournaments, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to one of the MLGs, and I played in some tournaments and stuff like that before. But
Yeah.
yeah, I did pretty good in like some solo stuff, but in the team stuff, we never really did that good.
It's like one of those things though, like if you went back home after those tournaments and then just like didn't quit your entire life and just dedicate your life to Halo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what some of those dudes I think did.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
they went home and they just like were like, well, I'm not going to school anymore. Well, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
and
yeah.
just played Halo,
Totally.
which is awesome. But at the same time, it's like, well, are they in a life situation now that's like, was it worth it? You know what I mean?
It might have been. Yeah, I wonder what they're doing
Maybe.
now.
Some
That's
of them,
true.
yes, maybe some no. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Hey man, I even feel it now. I've been playing so much PUBG every day. I feel like my PUBG skills right now are like the highest they've ever been.
Dude,
I'm not saying
I
I'm a
know.
pro, but they're like the highest. I've just been like beasting on people. I still have my fail moments. I lost a really bad game and came in second place, 1v1. I still stink at 1v1s at the end, but
Everyone does, I think,
it's
though, a little bit.
sometimes I'd like panicked, but yeah, it's crazy, man. It's funny how like the more you spend time playing a game, how you get to a certain point where it's like so second nature. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So I have to say, like, the pistol game that you did, like the pistol only challenge where you got second place was mental.
That guy didn't die, right?
I know you had like 5 kills too, so it's like people couldn't be like, "Oh, you hid in a bush the whole time." Like, no, you had like legit number of kills.
Yeah.
too.
I ran around, and I don't think I was watching it back. And my dude, you screwed up. I only had like a level 1 vest and helmet, but it was like I was trying to stay away from people.
Yeah, but it was fine. And then so in number 2, yes, the other day I had to stay late at work, and you had stopped streaming, and I was like, oh, I'll just watch some random like MLG tournament, and I watched a whole thing, a whole match, and it was on Aaron Gold, dude, and it was so intense, and it made me realize like these, like, the circle is random, right? But these guys, like when they interviewed the team that won, the guy was like, we knew like from playing it so much. We're like, we know that the circle, when it pops this way, we knew that this was just going to be a better position. Like we knew there was a more likelihood it would pop to this side. And
Yeah.
like, like there is like an art form to, understanding that, that the circle's randomness. You're like, even if, and he was like, even if it did go to, the other way, we were in a better position to move across. Like, so like, it's really kind of like we had a hill in front of us, so we were able to use that hill in case it went to the other side to push through. But I was just, it made me
Yeah.
realize that like these guys, like, and there is a lot of like the people that say, oh, the random circle, blah blah blah. Like it does play a little bit, or maybe we'll say 25%, but 75%. I think those pros are like really knowing
how
to position themselves.
Yeah, 100%
Maybe
agree, man. I think when you first start
at
out,
least 75.
yeah, when you first start out, that stuff is really frustrating, like the random circle, the red zone. But like as you play more and more and more, it becomes like really not a big deal because like you are kind of taking into account like, okay, the circle could go anywhere. What's like the best position, like no matter what, or like and figuring out, okay, most likely it's gonna go this way, and and that's what, to me, dude, I have to say. Because I was so heavy, I've always been, people on the stream asking like, what other games do you play and stuff. And I've always was such a big, like, I just play one game at a time, like Halo and Call of Duty. I would get to these points because all I did was play Call of Duty for years and years and years, where like, I mean, dude, I was like a straight up loser with Call of Duty. I would call out like, I would hit people with grenades before they were spawning. I'd be like, okay, they're going to spawn here. They're going to spawn here. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. Like, it would just be like, it got to the point where I was just like too far deep in that game where like I knew so many things, And I figured what made me nervous, I'm like, dude, that's going to take so long to get to that point in PUBG. And I'm finally getting to that point where like I'm calling out like, okay, I think there's going to be dude right here. Like most likely there's going to be a guy here, and like it's happening in the game. And that hasn't happened to me up until this point in PUBG, where like I'm pretty much calling out like most likely there's a guy coming in like 5 seconds right here because the way the circle is moving and stuff. And that kind of stuff really helps a lot. I mean, it's not always going to be right, and it's always guessing a little bit, just like the circle. But when you get to that point, but it only comes after playing for so long. And I feel like a lot of people don't even hit that point. I just literally stream every day. So like I'm able to get to that level of strategy, I guess now.
No, yeah. And I think that's a lot of it too, right?
Just repetition. It's like anything in life. I mean,
yeah, it is 110%. It is just repetition.
Yeah, it's like playing basketball or anything. Once you play more, you just understand situations and what people are going to do and like how you can fake somebody out, like any sport or really anything. And that's why I always liked playing one game at a time, because I just feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always dug the competitive part of it.
Yeah. I would like to switch it up. I just obviously don't have the time also, but I think it's important to, not important, but you always typically, if you're into something, you get a little bit better of a, you get a better experience if you keep playing the same one and kind of get better at it rather than just jump around, and you're just mediocre at everything,
Yeah. Yeah, it depends what you're into. I mean, I think in this day and age, like if you like stories and stuff like that, like, play different video games. But if you're like really into online, you hate losing, then like it's tough to jump around from game to game to game, because then you're never going to be a pro. And it was kind of like that meme we brought up a couple episodes ago on the podcast about like how at Apex Legends is now at the point where like when you get on, everyone's a pro and you die immediately or whatever.
Yeah, you can't even, it's unplayable. It's gotten to the point that it's unplayable.
Yeah, because in the beginning, it's amazing. When Apex first came out, you just hop on, everyone's at the same skill level, because I mean, obviously people are always going to be better than others, but like we're still learning. And then it gets to this point where like you get on Apex and people are like super into the game, and same thing with PUBG. And I forget where I was going with this, but like if you keep moving on from game to game to game, you never get like that good at one. And for some people, it's fine. I mean, I know a lot of people just play for a casual purpose. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, so do I. I'm not a pro player, and I'd like to joke around on stream, and sometimes I do silly things. But then there is other times when like I really enjoy playing very serious. And Drew Boo mentioned in the stream, he came in. Shout out to Drew. He listens to the podcast, and he was saying that he loved the other day. I talked about how one of my favorite things about PUBG is actually just the like being tactical and talking tactical. Like I know, like, like talking strategy with everybody and being like, all right, I'm going to flank. Like that's some of my favorite parts of PUBG. And then I was thinking about it. And Spooky SG, me and him played. We were talking the other day. We were playing, and we were not on stream, and we were just chatting. And he was telling me how he tried this game out on PC. It's called Squads. And it's a dumb name for a game because it's literally called Squads.
Yeah,
but it's a
redundant as hell.
Yeah, it's like a very redundant name. But it's a hyper realistic shooter game on PC, I think, and it's a tactical first-person shooter. Came out in 2015, and he was playing that game because he just got a new computer, and people like play it hyper realistically. Like they were saying, you know, we gotta like they were gonna. It's like they're in the army. They were gonna raid like a terrorist base. They're like saying, okay, Alpha team is gonna like block, is gonna cover Team Charlie. Team Charlie's gonna enter from this way. They were like literally doing like a SWAT team entry, and they're like, you got to keep comms open, everybody. Like no extra communication on the chat. And he got yelled at because he was standing in the doorway, and they like yelled at him, and they like freaked out on him. And I was like, at first, I'm like, dude, what? Like that's so ridiculous that you would get so much hate for that. And like, what kind of nerd says like, oh, keep the comms open? But then I found myself like, you know, when you're playing PUBG, honestly, like when you talk and stuff, if people are talking for fun and joking around and stuff, like that is fun. And I love joking around with my friends, but then you can't hear footsteps, and then you might lose because of that. So it's hard to determine, like when me and you play in Day, we like to joke around and we're making jokes, and I love that. You know, but then some people want to take it really seriously, and you almost need to play like a loser and be like, no, keep the comms open. And I don't know where that, you know, there's always going to be try hard and sweaty people, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I don't even know if that really had a point what I was saying, but you know what I mean, right? Like, it's like, where's the balance of like, there are both can exist, I guess, too.
Yeah, they both definitely can exist. I think it's just kind of, in what mood are you in? You know what I mean? I think that sometimes like we do get too goofy and we should just focus on playing. And then other times it's like, I think like we strap in sometimes, and then other times we have trouble strapping in. You know what I mean? Like we naturally kind of get into one rhythm or the other, you know?
Yeah, well, sometimes it's annoying if like literally everyone's being so serious. You're like, dude, it's just a video game. But then other times it's annoying when people literally are like, you know, there's constant noise on the microphone. You can't hear yourself think, and like, it's, and then people sneak up on you and you die, you know? So it's they're both kind of, both extremes can be bad, but I do enjoy getting serious sometimes and like really talking everything out and calling things out, you know?
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more fun when you're tactical. It makes it, I mean, games are meant to be played and like won, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Winning is the most fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah, winning or having just a very hilarious moment. But at the end of the day, if you have a hilarious moment and you end up winning, that's always sweeter. So it's like winning always kind of is the icing on the cake.
What was it like? Yeah. I feel like we've had some games where like it's just every impossibleness, like things that like always shouldn't happen and they do, and then somehow we win. That's like the funny thing. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think one of the games I still remember. I don't know if you remember this game. I'm pretty sure you were in it with me. It was one of like my first chicken dinners, or first one where I got like multiple kills. It was when we did like one of our first successful roadblocks on Erangel, and then the circle came onto military, and it ended up on that there's an area where there's like a tall radio tower on the mountain in Erangel, and we ended up, I think it was me, you, and Wendell, and somebody else, and we ended
me, you,
up
and Matt, just the three of us.
Oh yeah, maybe it was just three of us. Yeah, and we ended up like kind of sneaking up the mountain on the side, and then we ended up winning on top of the mountain. And it was like the first successful roadblock. I mean, we were crying, laughing. It was absolute madness, and we ended up like getting really tactical after the roadblock, after laughing and goofing around. And those are the best wins of all time. That's like the one. You know, I don't really remember many PUBG games really, and that's one that I will probably remember forever. It's just like the history of gaming was like one of the best moments. It was so much fun. It was hilarious. I didn't know what bridge blocking was. I remember when I first got the game, you guys were like, dude, you got to do a bridge camp. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah. That's like the greatest thing. They should just make a map. We need a map with a single bridge or two bridges, like just similar to Erangel.
Yeah, it definitely is like the best thing. It's hilarious.
But
yeah, man, a lot of good times gaming. A lot of good times
100%.
gaming, of course.
Yeah. We could, I guess we should move on. Do you want to, get into Modern Warfare?
Yeah, sure.
That's not going to be too much info.
Yeah. So the trailer came out today during the stream, and I think people were waiting for more information, or expecting more information, I think is the right term. And if you guys haven't watched it, I'll leave the link on YouTube, or actually just Google it. I mean, it'll pop up right away, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And it was announced that this is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And what they did with the reason why they named it this way is because it's kind of like what happened with the Xbox One. It's not the first Xbox, but the way the naming went with it, or what they wanted. So the original Call of Duty series, got up to 4. It was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And then then they moved into Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. And there was a reason a while back, I forget where it was posted, but there was a reason explaining why they wouldn't want to do Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 4. I think it was because the way that it would be written, it would be like it would pop up in the same search results all the time, for Call of Duty 4. It would like keep popping up under the same name or the way they copyrighted it. So people are like, the only option is if they're going back to Modern Warfare would be if they did just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And it's not even called Call of Duty 4 anymore. It's just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So that's what it is. And the trailer is pretty short. And it's in the beginning, it just looks like you're watching a legit like military movie. Some of the graphics look ridiculous.
It almost looked like a reboot to me because the guy talking with the beard or whatever.
They said
looks like the guy from the first Modern Warfare.
It is. They said it's a soft reboot. I heard somewhere online that it's like a semi reboot, but like. Ooh, it says Modern Warfare is a reboot of the 2007 game, not a remake, but a reimagining. Developer Infinity Ward says the game is not set in the same universe as the existing trilogy, so it's like they're kind of making it Modern Warfare again, which is kind of interesting, right? Like I feel like this is gonna, if they are gonna bring this back and reboot it, this could be like a direct competitor to PUBG. For real,
yeah,
make it really realistic.
What was their last one? Infinite Warfare, was it not? I think.
Yeah,
that was their last one.
Yeah, it was.
There's nothing to say about that one, for me at least. But yeah, I think I don't know if it's going to be comparative to PUBG. You think it would be?
Well,
like,
I think so, because we were talking about on this stream today about like what makes PUBG so much fun and some games so much fun, and it's because there's not a lot of bullshit in PUBG. It's just like it is what it is, and what hurts some games like Fortnite is they almost over update too much, and in real life there are crazy technologies like thermal vision and x-ray vision and like night vision, not full on x-ray vision, but there are like mechanisms like see through things, and the current technology, it's so easy to put a game in 2020 like Ghost Recon and have drones and all this shit, but then like the game just gets so annoying. I don't want to get shot by a drone while I'm trying to run around, you know what I mean? Like that would piss me off. Or you don't want to like be kind of trying to hide and then everyone just sees you with a thermal scope, then there's no point in hiding. So PUBG does is like it kind of keeps it modern, but like without like the modern like futuristic items. And then with Call of Duty, they started getting into that phase where it's like there's robots flying around and like ridiculous shit. And I feel like some people this is why we were talking about it, because why Battlefield 1 was so much fun, and Battlefield 5. It's because like when you're playing in the old school World War I, World War II universe, there's not really cheap items. You know what I mean? There isn't C4, there isn't crazy tanks. And to me, I've kind of repeated myself on the podcast, but to me, that's like that kind of gaming always works out the best. That's why CSGO is so good. there's not crazy shit in CSGO, and that's why all the famous...
Yeah, it's just a gun. They put it in a gun, and that's it.
Exactly.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, some items, you run out of grenades and flashbangs and that stuff, but keeping it kind of simple makes it more tactical for people and less feeling like you got cheated or like that thing's cheap or whatever. And I know there's always counters, but to me, it just makes it a little bit more like, I don't know, like so many things. So I feel like if they do a reimagining, it could be pretty realistic. It could be pretty simple. And if you remember, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is kind of like PUBG. There was maybe night vision in that. I don't know.
They had like the heartbeat monitor or something like that.
Oh, there was the heartbeat monitor.
There was 2. I think about Modern Warfare 2 or 3.
That was Modern Warfare 2. There was a heartbeat monitor. You're right.
But that wasn't crazy. It wasn't like
it was like a very close proximity. But yeah,
I really think that like Black Ops 2 had the best like balance of that stuff. To be honest with you.
Well, even Black Ops 1, there wasn't like any of that in Black Ops 1.
Yeah, Black Ops 1 too. But like Black Ops 2 had some futuristic stuff, but it wasn't like crazy.
Yeah, that's why. But I'm saying that era still, from Call of Duty 4 to Black Ops 2, is like everybody's favorite Call of Duty
it's
era.
A different. Yeah, that era will never get back of Call of Duty. I feel like.
Well, unless but the thing is this like too late though? I think, are they trying to go back and just repeat what they had success in the past instead of moving forward? Who knows?
Yeah, no. I think this just raises the question of what are they doing with Blackout? What is going on? Why are they doing the same freaking thing that we know is not work? Like, it's just like they're doing the same. They haven't changed the like how they're doing this game. It's like I could pre-order the game on Xbox for $100. I don't want to pay $100. I don't want to pay $60 for this game. Like, you know what I mean?
Is it already pre-order? Is it already out for pre-order?
You can pre-order it on Xbox for $99.99.
Wow, the same thing as Blackout. And Blackout played me, dude. I said I wouldn't buy those premium passes anymore, but then I went against my word. I didn't for years, but I did it for Blackout because I literally thought Blackout was going to change the gaming battle royale.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if this one will have a battle royale. I mean, maybe this one won't have a battle royale. They're like, no, only doing Blackout. That's it. But dude, like, it doesn't matter. They're coming out with a new generation of Call of Duty year after year, completely different than the year before. So it's like, how many people they lose on Blackout? Or
dude, how many people are still playing Call of Duty World War II? There's a lot, actually. Like,
yeah.
They like, yeah, no, there is. It's like, and so it's like, and there's some people who still play Blackout. I mean, even last year there was people who still played Ghosts. So
yeah, I do see people playing.
You're splitting your player base by having so many.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're still making people migrate, and you're like, well, like I get it. Like, I get it because they want people to be attracted, and it's a new game. But I just don't get it at the same time. I don't think it's working. I think they need to move these different ones. Maybe you have 3 different studios. Like, make it 2 studios again and give them a year between each one.
Of course, dude, they're stuck there. EA and Activision are old corporate companies, and they're stuck in the they need to come out with a game every fall. Yeah, and they're definitely panicking, dude. Activision's panicking because they don't have they're running off their cash cows of World of Warcraft and Call of Duty, and they don't have the next thing. Like right now, there's Fortnite, PUBG. There's some other games out there that are being huge titles, and they don't have these games. Call of Duty and World of Warcraft are I mean, they might have years left, and who knows? Maybe something crazy will revitalize one of them, but they're winding down in terms of their success. You know what I mean? And other games are topping them now.
Yeah, I mean, smaller companies came out, but I think that's really just their issue in general, though, is that they could just focus on not focus on one, but just focus on, I don't know how to say this. You don't need to focus on one, but you could definitely focus on something. Make it just try. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel they should just. That's why I'm hoping that they announce that Call of Duty Modern Warfare is the last one from Infinity Ward. Excuse me. And they're this is going to be our game now, and it's going to be updated, and that's why they're naming it without other names. To me, that would be cool.
That would be, give it 2 years, 3 years, then come out with another one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or say this is Infinity Ward will be updating this game but then they'll say 3 years, and then it'll be oh, never mind, no one's playing it anymore because we're going to have Sledgehammer Games with another game next year. They can't, if they come out with that promise, they can't come out with another Call of Duty next year at all.
That's what I mean. They need to go back to
not any.
They need to go back to that's what I mean. They should go back to 2 studios and then have a year in between each new Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That gives them 2 years.
Least, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if the new one comes out, they're not splitting their player base too much. I mean, it's just too split, dude. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm looking at this right now. Call of Duty 2, Black Ops 2, you were just talking about it, has more viewers on Twitch than Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
I was just looking at that too, but there's one guy streaming it and
who has a lot.
15,
okay, he has
viewers,
okay, that's hilarious. Okay. All right, so it's one guy really, but
in reality, it doesn't. It's that game. Black Ops 2 is fucking 10 years old, bro. The guy's streaming it and everyone's watching him, but
yeah.
But I guarantee you, it will make more people play that game because this one guy's playing it.
No, totally. People are like, "Oh, this is cool. Yeah, I want to play this game now." And oh, this is fun. It doesn't have this in the game that makes me annoyed in Black Ops 4. So let me play this one again. And while we're here, let's do. So this is I don't know if we've been not doing maybe every week, but we try to do this every week. We miss a couple here and there, where we check what's going on Twitch just to see what people are watching and what games are being watched. Right now, Fortnite is in the lead. League of Legends, Counter-Strike top 3. Crazy that Counter-Strike is still always in the top 5, top 10 every single time. Followed by Grand Theft Auto and World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is making a comeback. They're releasing some kind of classic World of Warcraft thing, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about they're getting back on WoW. So who knows? But that does happen every once in a while. And then something interesting here. Let's just count it. PUBG is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down on the list. Someone from I don't want to say his name on the stream, but someone that we both know mutually from high school came into the stream and said, "Dude, you got to get on what is this? A Battalion 1944." And I see Shroud is playing this, and so is Hutch. One of the Twitch people that I follow is Hutch, and I don't really know what's up with this game. I googled it. It's just like a World War II fighter game, but why is it like all of a sudden being played so much? It came out last year in 2018, and it has a 6 out of 10 on Steam. 78% of users like this, and it's a multiplayer first-person shooter game published by Square Enix. And it's coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Maybe that's why.
I guess
it just looks like a Call of Duty game, so I don't know why.
It literally looks like it. I mean, the only reason it's very high up right now is because of Shroud. Like, Hutch only has 700 viewers, and then Shroud has
23. That's insane.
Yeah.
Should I go in there and ask why is everybody playing this right now?
Yeah, let's go in. Like, why the F are you playing this?
It would come in on the recorder, else I would do that. But
hello,
why are you guys playing? So something's up with this game that like a Shroud is playing it, or it's kind of funny how games like move like that. Like, I don't know if it's because one streamer plays them and then everyone's like, dude, you got to try this game, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not really sure how that works.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Disrespect playing some random game the other day. I guess they're just there's not much, like, trying to like switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also the thing too that we're gonna notice is that like now it's like there's these games like PUBG, Fortnite, XYZ that like maybe like you get bored of playing and you're like, oh, well, there's only like these games now. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of want to play something else. You kind of get stuck playing.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been talking a lot about that on the stream. Like, people have been asking me, like, is there any other games you're interested in? And we did someone wanted me to do a poll, like, are you just going to stream PUBG? Most people ended up voting for PUBG. It was like 85%. But, I'm definitely in the mood for like another game. But it's also summer is coming, and I try to, I want to get outside and stuff and like enjoy the sunlight and not be a complete shut-in gaming all the time. Yeah. But so it's hard to like get into another game. I played League of Legends with Spooky. I know you never played League of Legends, and that was fun. But I would definitely like to get off a game that's maybe not a shooter, because that's all I play. But I'm so addicted to shooters that it's hard not to play shooters.
Yeah, I don't know what I would play. I always want to get something that's not a shooter.
I want a relaxing game, man, but every time I look at a game that's like relaxing or that seems relaxing, like a base builder or something, they're so complicated now that like I don't want to balance a town budget and like do taxes in a video game. Like I just
don't want to file my 4. I don't want to do worry about my 401k in the video game.
Yeah, I don't want to like have to literally manage people where I could just literally run for the mayor in real life. I don't want it to be that difficult, Yeah,
like what happened to Age of Empires? Weren't they going to reboot that game or something like that? Like
I think they actually remastered it, but it's just the same game remastered, For
I'd play that. That sounds relaxing right now.
Yeah, it does sound relaxing because those games aren't as stressful as like
Red Alert,
sir, dude. We have a sewage leakage. Can you please fix it? You're like, dude, I don't want to repair the sewage. Like, I just want to build
Roller Coaster Tycoon, bro. Remember, you had to clean up people's throw up all the time.
Yeah, even that game going back, like, I don't want to deal with all that shit. I just want to like build a base. I almost
get loans.
I'm about to just start playing Bloons Tower Defense again. Did you ever play that with us in high school? I would just play Bloons Tower Defense all the time in high school.
I'm about to download. Dude, some guy at my sitting on the ferry today was like playing some game. Like, he's like definitely a Wall Street dude, like wearing like a nice pinstripe suit, and he's like playing on his iPad and on his phone, like it both out.
What,
like,
really?
He was just balls deep in this game, and I was like, "What is he playing?"
Wow.
I was trying to figure it out.
Speaking of Age of Empires 2, that has 1,000 viewers. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I miss like Red Alert and all those games. They're so simple. Just build a base, have some things making you money, and just fight.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I definitely do miss that game.
Blow shit up, bro, with a big army. Like, it's a simple concept.
Yeah.
It was fun to build stuff, and it was fun to destroy shit. You know what I mean?
If anything, just like building the base was always the most fun. And then like I just remember growing up, like when it came time to fight, like my computer would just lag, and I'd be like freaking out as like a 10-year-old. Yeah. And I'd be like,
I remember I had like 56K internet, and I like clicked to build something, and it would like show up like 10 seconds later.
Yeah. That was funny, man. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times playing Age of Empires.
Yeah.
And then you use a cheat code, and then
I think there's like Call of Red Alert or like one of those for your phone.
Yeah, we've talked about this a couple times. Why have I not even downloaded it yet? Does it cost money? Command and Conquer
I
Mobile.
don't know. I meant that I should just do
And
it
then like
now.
there's this Game of Thrones game that keeps popping up on ads everywhere. Have you seen this? The officially licensed Game of Thrones browser game keeps
Yeah,
popping up on
I
like
did.
Facebook all the time for me. And I googled it. I'm like, this has to be like a scam, But it looks so cool. Like they did such a good job. They made everybody like in video game form, like Jon Snow, Jaime Lannister. But like I read a review about it and watched a video, and people were saying it's just like it looks so like intricate, and they were saying that it's a pay to win game. So I'm like, well, it's basically not a scam, but pay to win.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying.
And here it goes.
I,
This is
I
Command & Conquer Rivals is a free-to-play real-time strategy mobile game. The game was released in 2018. And yeah, Command & Conquer Rivals on
oh,
mobile. I wonder how this is.
is it free? Oh, you said
It's
that's
free
free.
to play. I'm sure there's like money. He said it was widely criticized by players for being a mobile game instead of a real-time strategy game. Okay, so it's more of like a mobile. Well, it's hard to do real-time strategy on the phone, so I get why it can't be a full-on RTS game. But
Well, you have to like wait for someone to do something.
I don't know. They said it just criticized it for being a mobile game. So I'm assuming that what they meant by that is that like it didn't have the same. It was probably like easy mode, like or like turn based, maybe not the same as a regular real time strategy game. Because I've never
I'm
played like
downloading.
Clash of Clans or any of those games. That a lot of people are into those
Yeah,
type of
I'm
games. Did
not
you ever
into
play
like.
those?
No, I'm just not into turn-based games. So
Most mobile games are those things where like you build a base and it's like wait one day, and then come back and the base will be ready. And then and then if you pay, like the base is ready, then you come back. What I don't like about these mobile games, it's all based off how much time you put in. It's not really based off like any kind of skill or anything, which I guess is fine, but it's like all about like how much time you're willing or money you're willing to spend in the mobile game to like get ahead. And I
yeah,
don't really love that idea.
yeah, there is always that element of how much money you're spending.
Yeah, who used to spend a lot of money on mobile games? Our buddy John. He used to have a problem with that. Isn't
Who?
that hilarious? Our buddy John.
Oh
He
yeah.
should not be named on the podcast. Full name, I'm just kidding around. But he told me one time, dude, I've been spending a lot of money in mobile games. I'm like, you spend money on mobile games? You're one of those people? I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
know that.
definitely the guy next to me was definitely doing that too. But
No, I really don't hate it if you spend money on video games, but some people get really addicted to mobile games and end up spending hundreds of dollars, and that's like an issue, I think.
oh yeah, people spend a ton of money on them, and it's really crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Bro, look, it even says Modern Warfare. If you scroll all the way down, has 412 viewers. Wow.
Wow. Oh, and I wanted to say, dude, this going back to that, how annoying is this, dude? So I see the trailer, I watch it, then tonight I see that PlayStation put the trailer on their YouTube account. So I'm like, okay, that obviously means that PlayStation is still like paying for a deal with Call of Duty. And one of the big parts was that they're saying that it's already crossplay. They've already done a deal with crossplay with Sony, Xbox, and PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Oh
But
my
so I'm
god.
like, dude, that's huge. There was actually a really funny meme. It was like Steve Carell from The Office being like, "I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna buy Call of Duty this year." And then he like turns around and there's like a girl with like her tits in his face, and in one side it says crossplay, and the other side says, what does it say? Free DLC. And he's like, "I'm gonna do it." It's like so funny.
Yeah,
but
that changes everything. Well,
yeah,
how did you leave that out?
yeah, no, I forgot. But how annoying is this? So that PS4 is still going to get all of the DLC and shit first. That is so stupid to me. Like, why is that happening still? It's so frustrating.
I wonder if there's like a contract that's been in place for a long time now, and they just.
No, I think so. But like, can't we just get over this contract and like pay them some money back or something? Like, what the F, dude? It's so annoying. And then how's there going to be crossplay if PC and Xbox aren't going to have the new maps and
I know.
PlayStation
Yeah,
is?
like all of a sudden yeah. Well, let's think of it
It's just
this way.
stupid, man.
No, I agree, but at least there's a small victory here.
No,
right?
yeah, small victory.
I mean, it's a pretty big victory.
It's actually a really big victory, but like,
Accurate.
is that a possibility that like that means that like maybe PUBG could get this done too?
I would hope so. I just don't think that. I just want PUBG to work properly right now, which it is.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah, let's talk about this PUBG update. So did you play last night? I saw you on. I actually got on, but then I saw you were in a squad, so then I just started playing.
Yeah, I was like sitting there and I was waiting for you, and then I was like, I'll just join a squad. I played with Crowbar, Jones, and
nice.
Some other people, and it was fun. I just was like, I'm only gonna play for like an hour and a half, so I might as well just get it going.
Yeah. There's really no time to waste. Yeah, just like the PTS, right? Everything's cool, no major issues. Played well, right?
It's been great.
It was fine.
Yeah, this is the best it's ever been. This is the best PUBG than it's ever been for right now. Actually, there was an issue for a couple of games where I was like glitching a bit, like I was lagging, like jumping a bit,
rubber banding a little bit. Hitching.
Yeah, and I was
there has been a little bit of like some server lag people are complaining about, and people are saying it could be because a lot of people from other servers are like playing on the North American servers because lack of player base elsewhere. But I'm not really sure why that's happening. Actually, oh wow, I should mention everything is fine for me except for I've been running into hackers for the first time ever, and at first. I put out a video. We beat a hacker on Xbox. Then people commented they're like, this is probably more lag switching and abusing like the server connection than hacking. But then today, I was in boot camp and I got killed and I had walls like all around me. And the guy that killed me was like hundreds of meters away from me or maybe 200 meters away. And he shot me and I died immediately. So I don't know how he could shoot through he probably shot through like 10 walls to hit me. And what lag is that? Like, I don't see where that could have been lag, but maybe. And then he got killed by somebody else right after. So then I couldn't report him. But like, I've run into a couple hackers already. That's kind of beat.
Whatever people are finally figuring out how to do it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's definitely not a good thing. I mean, it's not the end of the world because you're like, whatever, I'll just play another game, but it's annoying. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, Microsoft kind of needs to step in on that, I think, a little bit. I don't know if PUBG can do a ton on that.
Yeah, other than just ban their accounts or something.
Yeah, I think that Microsoft has more control. Yeah.
Yeah, they can at least ban them from PUBG.
Yeah, definitely. I think they can make their accounts useless, but I really don't know for sure.
Yeah, but otherwise, the game's been good. I mean, I'm really digging. I mean, the Survivor Pass, some people said it's a little boring. Like, for people who bought it, they're like, I don't love or people who maybe they didn't buy it, they didn't because they thought it was boring. But some people were saying the rewards aren't that fantastic. It's definitely not the most amazing stuff in there compared to Vikendi and Sanhok, those passes. But there's a decent amount of rewards, and there's these new weapon challenges that I'm probably going to work on a video for that are really, really fun, where you, well, not fun, but something different, where like you need to get a kill and make it to the top 10 with like the Tommy gun, and there's like 8 challenges with the Tommy gun, like get 5 kills with the Tommy gun, deal 1,000 damage with the Tommy gun, and once you finish these challenges, then you get like a rare skin for that gun. And there's a couple different guns that have the challenge. So the Tommy gun, the barrel, the double-barreled shotgun, the UMP, and the M16. So it's been really fun because on stream, I've been playing games with like the UMP and the double-barreled shotgun, or the Tommy gun and the double-barreled shotgun, trying to play. And I got a crazy chicken dinner with the UMP and the double barrel today, which was fun in solos.
That is fun.
Yeah. So I like that stuff. But it's kind of funny that I'm excited about paying money to do a challenge when like in Call of Duty, every gun has like 1,000 challenges, and that was all part of the game back in the day. So it's kind of funny how times have changed.
Yeah, they kind of have. They're just trying to catch up to that, I think, a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like they never really had it. Like they didn't build an infrastructure for it. They're like, oh, we should probably do this.
Well, at first I think they wanted to keep it simple, and then now they're kind of succumbing to having all that stuff. And now there's dance emotes and stuff like that. Did you see any of that stuff?
Yeah, the dance emotes are stupid.
Yeah, and they have music and stuff. The music, other players can't hear the music, but it definitely. I think they went a little far with the music. But
I know they went too Fortnite.
Some kids are gonna love that stuff. So
some people will. I don't think the majority of the player base for PUBG will like that.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of people being like, "Dude, too far with the emotes." But
yeah, please stop. Please make it stop. But whatever. It's not the end of the world to me. It's not like I'm so upset I need to like tweet at Brendan Green. I haven't tweeted at him in a while.
Yeah, I think everything's pretty good, and we gotta play together soon. I mean, I'm going away this weekend, so for people listening, no stream this weekend for me. But I'm going to a graduation party. I just won't have time to stream. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean,
the next weekend I'll be away.
Are you? Oh wow, for E3.
A week from this Thursday.
Trip and then E3 tacked onto it, right?
Yeah, and then trip after. So
Okay, yeah.
some little work, Gotta do some work for the podcast.
Nice. That would be really. That's gonna be really exciting, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my bigger laptop, I think, with me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll just
The
have it,
MSI.
whatever. Yeah, I'll bring that.
Nice.
I mean, I have like a full suitcase, so
yeah. Why not? Oh, sorry, I just hit my mic.
it's
that
okay.
works, man. So maybe next week or something we can play some PUBG.
Yeah, we're definitely down. 100% down. Was there any? There was like some other things they announced, right, about PUBG like updates or?
Well, I made a video about it. There's some new stuff for for console. So right now we're on for PC. They're on update number 29. What did they just get? I forget what they just got in their update. They have weapon masteries. They have what was in update number 29 for PC? Update 29, PUBG. I'm kind of blanking off the top of my head because there's just been so many updates.
Yeah.
In this update, they had the Vikendi rebalance. Oh, the tactical map markers. Some mini map changes and stuff like that. So nothing huge, but just like a lot of like improvements for the game. Right now, we're technically on patch. If we were like in terms of PC, we're on patch number 27, which came out. And I put this in my video. I definitely recommend you guys checking this out. It's kind of interesting. So patch number 27 came out on April 17th, and that's the update we just got. Or no, came out on March 20th. Excuse me. Patch number 27. Let me repeat myself. Came out on March 20th, and we just got that update with the MP5 on May 28th. So it was 2 months after. Two whole months after, which is crazy, from March to May. Yeah. And but then in some of the posts, PUBG was talking about that there's a bunch of stuff they're working on for console that's going to be separate, and it looks like they're actually making a pretty big initiative right now to kind of fix console in terms of like console specific updates. And one of them is a new controller preset where they want to change. It's going to be preset C, where they're going to change leaning from the thumbsticks to bumpers because they want to have people have different options, and then they're also going to change around with some of the buttons. So that's kind of interesting. And then they're going to mess around with possibly adding auto equipping attachments instead of having to do that stuff. Cool. And they said they're working on a bunch of different things like looting and UI things for console to make just the game more like fluid. And
so I kind of wonder if they are moving towards cross-platform. Because also one thing I guess we didn't really mention was like keyboard and mouse people on Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of gonna be.
Well, I think what they'll do is what Fortnite does is like I know you haven't played a lot of Fortnite or ever. Have you even played Fortnite ever?
Like 2 times.
Yeah. What they do is like I think you're automatically playing against PS4 players, and then you have to like select purposely to play against PC, and it says like, "Are you sure you want to play against PC players?" They'll probably have something like that.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, but
we gotta get our PC game strong, man.
I know. But this is interesting for console. And this next update they said is going to come most likely around late June, early July, so another month from now, which is good because they have been updating the game every like month and a half.
Yeah.
And then we'll have hopefully weapon mastery soon, which came to PUBG, which is like another thing for people to like every weapon. It will track your stats. You can earn charms and more stuff. So like that will help give people more stuff to like do and like track while they're playing, and that kind of stuff I feel like will help people kind of feel like they have something to do in the game other than the survivor pass. And if you get bored, there's like stuff to be tracked, I guess,
I hope they do some updates to custom, you know what I mean, like the custom games. Hopefully they kind of give that some love too while they're kind of
same. I mean, I want Vikendi on the custom games so we can do a tournament and include Vikendi.
Weird that they haven't added that yet. So
it is kind of strange. And lastly, because we just mentioned about stepping up our PC game, and maybe we can end on this unless there's anything else you want to touch upon. AMD finally dropped the information I was talking about. So I think last week we talked about I have like a PC build that I'm working on, and Grace is calling me. Let me text her. So I'm working on this PC build. Let me just send this out. I said, I have one build with AMD, one build with Intel, and I'm not really sure what I should do. Obviously, Intel, they say, is better, but like you pay way too much money for it. You're paying for the brand. And then AMD is kind of like more bang for your buck, but does perform at a little bit lower level. But is that lower level like really considerably that different? So, anyways, Andrew, I don't know if you have the 2700X or that was like one of the higher flagship ones that they were like shipping
That's what
out.
I have.
And they just dropped like the next generation of those. They just released them or announced them a couple days ago or within the last 3 days. Yes. And so they have like the 3700 now, I think it's called. And there's a 3800 and there's all these different, there's like, it goes from like 33,000 all the way up to like 3,900, I think. But like,
sons of bitches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've had yours for a while now, but it's not bad. The pricing isn't that bad. It's cheaper than like the top of the line Intel one. And hold on, my bad, I was reading this text. So the AMD one, it's going to come out on July 7th. So
that's not that bad.
I'm like, should I wait and maybe get this and build an AMD computer? So now I got to go over my stuff, think about it. I'll talk to you maybe outside the podcast. I got to decide now. I think I might go AMD. I don't know. I was all about Intel and then now this AMD thing seems to be pushing me over the edge.
Yeah, I mean, a month isn't that bad. You just got to make sure your motherboard is compatible with it.
But that's what I'm worried about because now with like the newest chip, like are there going to be like other parts that need to like are all the parts going to be available for this new chip? Because they said like they're going to have the state of the art like PCLE or whatever 4.0 for like the first time. So like I guess I'm talking out of hand here, so if I'm saying the wrong stuff, I apologize. I guess what I'm trying to say is because it's the newest, sometimes it's not always great to buy the newest technology first because all the other parts aren't compatible or like the parts haven't matched it. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, the motherboard may not be on the same level.
Yeah, it's kind of like
the motherboard you need to buy is really expensive because they only have one version of it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in this stuff, so people are like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't. But I'm trying to learn. So it's
I mean that could be an issue. I don't really think it would be really a big issue though.
Yeah, so. I'm pretty sure they would like keep everything kind of compatible, but I'll have to look into it before I do it.
Yeah, I think you could find out most of that information. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's what I got to do. I'm going to look up some more information about it, but that might be what I'll wait for. And then on July 7th, I'm sure like they might be back ordered or something, but I could maybe try to put in like a pre-order or something for it and then maybe build my computer. Then I was thinking, damn, July is still pretty far away, but in reality, May is over tomorrow, or the last day of May is tomorrow as we record this podcast. Today's May 30th. So it's really just one more month. So that's really not that bad. My computer will definitely survive for one more month. And if it's crapped out, I mean, I could do like an emergency fix or build or something, knock on wood that doesn't happen. But
yeah, I think it'll be okay. I don't think it's going to crap out last week.
I mean, who knows, dude? The stream shut off today because of my computer.
Really?
For the first time. Yeah. It definitely wasn't an internet thing. It was like my computer started like bugging out and then the stream shut off and then I had to like shut down some things. And then I think I literally like now when I'm streaming, I have to like close out any extra like web browsers and just keep like the live stream up in like one extra tab. So it's like it's getting like super because Google Chrome takes up so much processing speed or like RAM, whatever it takes up. It's like
probably some RAM
or memory like it's crazy. Because I've read about it. Google Chrome, for anybody else that's wondering, it takes up like they always keep each page like super loaded. So like super like up to date, I guess. So like when you have multiple tabs open, which most people do in 2019, like Google Chrome is like the worst for that, but it makes everything faster, but it takes up so much. Here, let me hit Control Delete. It takes up so much. Let's see my task manager right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tabs open right here.
Yeah.
And my Google Chrome is taking up, let me see, like I can't see the exact percentage, but it's taking up like a ton of my memory space right now, like 40% or something, or 30% of my memory space. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It is kind of a lot.
But anyways, that's it, man. So I'm going to try to figure out some more of that stuff and then continue playing PUBG and grinding on that. Anything else you got to add to the podcast or want to add?
No, I don't think. I think that's it. I think
it's pretty solid. We made it, I think, like just about an hour, maybe a little bit more. And a solid episode. It was fun. I like that. It was kind of more just laid back, talking about some gaming stuff and Call of Duty. Always fun just chatting about that stuff. And it'll be interesting to see what happens this year, especially with the potential next consoles on the horizon next year. This is always a weird time when there might be a new console coming out,
announced at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because like say for example, there's a really cool game that comes out on PlayStation 4. I might have bought it, but now if like there's PlayStation 5 coming out, like there's no way I'm buying a PlayStation right now if there's a new one coming out soon. So we're in a weird time, and you know, are they going to remaster PUBG? There's been rumors about that for the next console generation. So there's a lot of, you know, it's going to be interesting what happens here.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're in a good situation. You know,
yeah,
I like the whole new console idea. You know, it's hard to believe that next year Xbox One will be 7 years old already.
Yeah, is that
Crazy.
what it? Yeah, what came out in 2013. Yeah, so it's 6 years now, and then next year's 7, and then usually they refresh it like every already. 7 to 8, 9 years. So yeah.
Yeah, what was? Yeah, I think that they refreshed Xbox 360 after 7 years. So yeah, we're there.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I bought my computer right before. I mean, I bought my computer a couple months, like 6 months before Xbox came out or whatever, like that same year. So they're kind of like the same age in a way, and it's like the next Xbox coming, and I'll be getting my new PC. So it's like kind of funny how the life cycle it's like, you know, they're similar. I mean, obviously they're similar, but they really are.
Yeah, it's really crazy to think about that. Actually, it's already been 7 years. Wow, God, I'm old.
Dude, it's sad because it was just like for us, it was like getting out of college. Xbox came out. That was the year Hurricane Sandy hit. I remember because I couldn't play Halo Online because we ran out of power and internet or whatever. For Halo, it was like Halo 5 Online or
I'll
what
never
was released
forget
then? Halo 4 or Halo 5?
Halo 4. Halo 5 was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it must have been.
Man.
Oh, no, that was in 2012. Was it not Halo 5? I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I just remember coming out, and the only game that everyone had was Ghosts. We were all playing Ghosts, which was garbage because it was on Xbox 360, and they were letting you upgrade for like $10 or something like that to the Xbox One version.
And yeah, I remember that was happening.
And Battlefield 4 was so broken.
Yeah, and Grand Theft Auto too. Like people had just bought Grand Theft Auto, and then Xbox came out, and then people were buying it on Xbox One X again. I mean, on Xbox One again, and it was kind of weird. And just because I said the incorrect thing, I was wrong about the dates. Hurricane Sandy and Halo 4 were 2012. I just had a lapse of time there. So
yeah, it's okay. But yeah, no, I remember it all. It was really different. It was a weird time. It was, man. This one will probably be a little bit better.
Hopefully. We shall see.
I think it's going to be a little bit more backwards compatible. It's almost like going to be a really smooth transition, I hope.
I hope so, man. It seems like it's kind of the same thing happening again, where PS5 might be like ahead again and could kind of like, I'm sure, you know, Xbox is prepared, I think, to compete this time better, but like they could be kind of putting Xbox on their heels right here because like Xbox again might have thought like another year or two of Xbox One, you know, and that's kind of what happened with 360. I feel like everybody thought like 360 could be out longer, and then PlayStation was like, screw it, we're coming out with PlayStation 4, and then Xbox is like, I think we have to do the same, you know. So
I think Microsoft is ready to release. Not ready to release, but they're definitely going to be announcing the high end console and the lower end console. And I think they put PlayStation on their heels to be like, okay, we need to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like with PlayStation 4, they released it like a month before Xbox One, and that was like a killer. I know that Microsoft won't make the same mistake twice, like being, you know, they're going to go all about games and all about, you know, graphics and stuff like that. Like the One X kind of proves that. But I think that, you know, I mean, hints that they're going big even for the next generation. So like they have the high end and then the lower end one for people, the affordable one, which is super smart. You know what I mean? They're giving people options.
Yeah, and that's what people need, and that's what they need to do. But it's also going to make it hard for developers though, too, probably. But
yeah, and that's why PCs are better, man, because you don't need to buy the most expensive PC to play the games. You know what I mean? You don't have one choice.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be interesting. And I think that Microsoft was just like, we're going to do this. And they had the plans and that leaked. And I think Sony is now like, we got to do the same thing. And it always happens that way. They're both always like kind of on the same page. I feel like, you know, they all kind of have an idea.
Yeah, it's like Samsung and Google Pixel and iPhone. They're all kind of in this same similar category.
They all know like we need to refresh after X many years and stuff. Yeah. And I think, you know, I think Microsoft won't make the same mistake as they did with Xbox One, and Sony is probably like, well, you got to stay on top. But now there's all the cross-platform stuff, so who knows what the hell is going to happen?
Yeah, it should be interesting, man, for sure.
Yeah. We'll see. I think we're in a good time though. I think the cross-platform will be good.
Yeah, it's going to be change the gaming landscape, and I hope it happens because I'm tired of it's kind of like it's like saying you can't talk to somebody who has a Samsung phone because you have an iPhone. It just wouldn't make sense at this point.
Yeah, you could still say it's a better console, but in reality, like
it's just like so you're saying.
They're
some
using
people
the same
think
graphics cards sometimes. I feel like
some people say some people think Samsung's better. Some people think iPhone's better. You can still talk to each other. It's like a similar analogy. So
yeah, they still text and do everything the other one does.
Yeah, exactly. So. All right, man.
All right, well, that's it.
All right, guys. As always, thank you for making it into the final circle. What a punny, corny thing for us to say, but you started it, Andrew. Now we continue it at the end of every podcast.
We have to do it.
And yeah, that was a solid one. Great podcast. Thanks again, man. And this will be out hopefully tomorrow for tomorrow's Friday, right? Is tomorrow Friday, May 31st?
Yeah, tomorr's Friday.
This will be out tomorrow unless there's some crazy issue with the podcast. And
I just sat up the whole time. I didn't
hopefully no issues this time, guys. So all right, thank you guys for listening. Have a good rest of your day. All right, everybody?
Thanks.
All right, peace.